Hello, everyone. Welcome to Liberal Tarot. I'm Sherry, Blue Dot, Red State, utilizing Tarot to help us navigate these very interesting times we have going on here in the United States. So I'm really glad that you're here and welcome. Don't forget, subscribe, like, helps me grow my channel. Okay, so the focus of today's reading is going to be Trump's use of emergency powers. Okay, I was watching Aaron Parnas this morning, and he had, kind of like a rundown of stories. And one of them was Trump is now threatening to nationalize or federalize the National Guard in all the states and all the cities. And I know that there's been a huge, concern and worry about Trump wanting to declare martial law. I have consistently got that, no, that's not going to happen. If he were to do that, really, I'm serious. That is like an immediate downfall for him. Like, I don't want to say that I would be excited for him to do that, because I'm not at all. But if he were to do that, I mean, like, literally, I see South Korea, like deposing their president that tried to do that, and it's almost like, if Trump tried to do that, the American people would be like, here, South Korea, hold our beer. We're going to show you. They've given us the roadmap of how to do this. Other countries have too. So I truly do not see him successfully doing that. It's not in the DNA of the American people to be ruled by martial law. Now, does that mean he won't try? That's fair game. He will try. Okay. And I think he's kind of testing that out right now in California. And I got in that one reading about California. California is the Harvard of the states. If he can break Harvard or California, then he thinks he can just break all the states. Okay. So he wants to go break the top, probably the strongest state. Is that the word I want to use? California could be a country onto it of itself. Just if you look at the economy, they're like ranked 4th or 5th economy. Okay, so that's kind of why Trump is targeting them. Okay, also blue state, doesn't like Governor Newsom, all of that stuff. The other thing that Trump has now done is declared he's trying to use emergency powers to he's trying to use emergency powers to keep Michigan's coal plants open. Okay. And there was a whole thing on this. He wants to keep these, he's wanting to keep these plants open. But some of these plants, there was court cases, and, these plants were to be closed because of just not being efficient. And so Trump is now saying that he's declaring a national emergency when it comes to energy. Therefore, we have to drill all of this stuff. And even Michigan's like, no, this is not, like, this is complete the water, this complete the air. Like, we already have this all figured out to where we can do, renewable energy, cleaner energy, all of that. And so, of course, Trump, wants to create the emergency so he can use the emergency powers. And so yeah, he creates this so that he can then utilize it. So what I want to do is I want to look at I'll look again at, is he going to declare martial law? I expect it to be, he's going to try. Okay. But he's not going to be successful. But I really just kind of want to do this, like, this just base reading into this, emergency powers. He is just like obsessed with these emergency powers. And so I just kind of want to do a base reading into that and look into, like, kind of see where that goes. Like, is there going to be a court that actually stops him? Or, like, what does that all look like? That's kind of what I want to do. So, as always, this is for entertainment purposes only. Trump and his use of emergency powers. Just a general base reading into that. Trump and his use of emergency powers. What do we need to know? Entertainment purposes only. It's like the laws are there for him to use. That's the very first thing I thought of is, find me the law. Okay. that is the here and now, and the challenge to this is it's going to go to court. Like everything he does goes to court. He's going to be blocked, stopped, the court cases. And the reason I say that is if I'm seeing this as, like find me the law to do it, then the court cases, the laws that are going to be, the court cases that are going to be used to stop him. Swords are usually what I would get with that. But the laws, it's like that, those tangible things, like the laws is kind of what I'm feeling with these. So let me keep going and see what else, I've got. His options would be just don't do it. His options are he wants to claim victory. And so his options are how can he do that? And he really is like he's a one-hit wonder whenever it comes to emergency powers. Okay. And it's like, can you just not leave well enough alone? But no, he can't. Okay, so create the emergency so that he can have the emergency powers. And yeah, that's how he thinks that he's successful also. Past experiences, he wants to be the strong man. Okay, but at this point, like the world's literally laughing at him. I I just, when I see Trump, I will forever just see that little squeaky tank. Okay. And the world laughs at him. So he really is not the strong man that he thinks he is. The recent influences going forward, and he really, it's like the court cases, like he really doesn't mind the court cases. I find that weird. And then you've got sixes here, this movement, like he's gonna move, like he's gonna do it anyway, and it's almost like asking for forgiveness rather than permission. Okay. And in his mind, I'm kind of getting like he can do this 2 or 3 times before it gets to the Supreme Court. So he's not going to listen to the first court, first federal court. And then it goes to appeals. He's not going to listen to them. And then it eventually goes up to the Supreme Court, or the Supreme Court kicks it back down to the lower. I mean, it's just this back and forth in the courts. In the meantime, he's out there doing, whatever he wants. And this is our country. 9 of Pentacles. This is my Kamala Harris card. I don't think that this is not Kamala in this reading, but this is probably our country. And because the wealthy woman, 9 of Pentacles here comes right actually before this. Okay, we've got the wealthy woman and then the achievement. Okay, so our country, the wealthy country, and what he wants to achieve. However, he's doing it in such a perverse way with this. So, I mean, in his mind, he sees like he's completely justified in doing this. Okay, that's what that is. So, is he going to be stopped from using, creating these conditions in which he can use these emergency powers? Is he going to be stopped? Just in general. The courts they're looking out into the future, and let me do this third card here, and a more tempered approach, not so chaotic. So yeah, I think that they are trying to rein him in. They're trying to rein him in, but they also are looking out into the future. So it's like they can't just do away with the emergency powers because they're there for a reason. They need to do away with the abuse of the emergency powers. Okay, that's the feeling I'm getting with that. And so so they're going to be saying a more balanced approach needs to happen. Usually temperance would be balanced, but I always see the Knight of Wands as, like, yes, action is taken, big messaging, okay? And it's almost like this is what we say we're going to do. So it's more those court rulings, and knights are changes in messaging. So changing his messaging, that's what the courts want to do. They want to definitely like reel him in without doing away with the emergency powers, because there probably really is reasons for that. I mean, there are reasons to give a president emergency powers. Trump is abusing those powers, and that's what the courts are wanting to do. They're going to try to kind of rein him in on that. So, like, yeah, he's wanting to keep these 2 major coal plants open, and it's like, no, these were scheduled to close for reasons, and it's they were too costly. They can produce energy cleaner and less expensive than these coal plants. So I mean, there's a whole thing on that. So I just want to know, is he going to be stopped in Michigan? Is he going to be stopped in Michigan? The people rise up and shed light on this and the messaging that goes with it, and there's going to be some kind of agreement that's made. Okay. And if you notice, Trump loves to rip up agreements just to redo the agreement. So it says the exact same thing. It just has his name on it. So, expect that to be, there's going to be some kind of agreement made with this. Okay. And then Trump is threatening to federalize the troops in all the states and all the cities. Was this just a 4 o'clock morning, shit and tweet type, session, or was this like something more serious? I kind of am wondering, do we need to go through and look at the TV guide at what was playing at the time that he said this? Because, he could have seen a movie and this is, oh, that looks like a great thing. Like he did with, reopening Alcatraz. So he's threatening to federalize all the troops in all the states and in all the cities. I mean, that was the reporting. It was like everywhere. So is he going to federalize all of the troops in all of the states? Okay, and with that, he wants to. I mean, he absolutely wants to. And I have always gotten that he wants to, but will he actually do it? Okay. The challenge to him doing this is the people will uprise. I mean, that's like, that's pretty clear. We are not, it is not in our DNA to be ruled under martial law or by a tyrant, or, did he kind of miss out on that history lesson of like what July 4th is about? We do not, we are not ruled by kings, okay? Or, so this is like he wants to, okay? The challenge is he doesn't know if he can do it. I mean, he can, but he's testing the waters now. He's testing the courts now to see what he can get away with, okay? And with that recent decision in California of the appeals court, now, there's a lot more steps to go before, that's a final thing. But right now, he's seeing it as, oh, I can do this, so I'm just going to do it everywhere. I'm going to do it in all the states. He wants to. The options are, he has, this is the 9 of Cups. And didn't he have like 9 cities that he was looking at doing this, those sanctuary cities, the blue cities? I think he's going to be testing it out. His options are, let's take this for a ride and see how it works. The past experiences, he wants, all of this is he wants to do it, okay? And this was in the past, so this is telling me like he's trying it with California. Like he's doing small action right now. He's just doing it kind of one at a time. I always get this as Pam Bondi. If this actually is Pam Bondi, she's telling him, oh yeah, you can do it. Okay, you might want to have like better legal advice. But he's going to only be surrounded by yes people. Okay, so don't expect there to be any adults in the room to tell him no. I mean, they weren't in the past. They actually were in the first Trump era, but now, they're pretty much going straight, barreling ahead on this. And the potential, there is a plan. There is not, as I said, there is not anything here saying that he is taking big action and doing it. Now, he did do it. This came up in the past, and I'm going to take this as California, what he's doing in California with the recent. Okay. This center is, yes, the here and now, the devil, he wants to do it. The challenge, show me how I can do it. Okay. And then options, he would be so happy. And as I said, it wasn't, I think it was like either 7 or 9 of those sanctuary cities. And so he's kind of like testing the waters. Okay. So is he going to declare martial law? And I'm going to use martial law kind of like as a, generic term. Is he going to try to federalize all the troops in all the states and all the cities, kind of effectively trying martial law, whatever that looks like? Is he going to try some version of that? Like all at once, all 50 states. Okay, and with that, this is things that are hidden. The answers are there, but they're not out of in the light yet. Okay, so and then if I pair that with this, because this is like plans, like planting seeds, so it's like beneath the ground. It hasn't broke through yet. So I think the plan is there. I just don't think he's not done it yet. He's waiting for the right opportunity. The challenge is, when do I do it? When is the challenge? If he does that, as I said, this is the downfall of him faster than you could. I mean, it's like, it is the downfall of him. But with what this is saying, the foundation, here we've got the erratic, irrational, just crazy man. And he's got this fantasy, of what the past is, that the recent influence is, I had been seeing this as MAGA. I still think it's MAGA. It's like this desire to return to a time that never existed. But with this being more recent influences, I think that this is like, this is more like he's seeing what's going on in California. I'm just getting real strong. California is the test ground. Okay, with this. And as I said, this is the foundation, the past experiences, the past lessons, and then the recent influence. So what he's doing in California right now is a test run for what he wants to do everywhere. There's a plan. He's waiting for the right moment, the right opportunity. But boy, when he does, karma is a bitch. Okay, so even if he were to try it, seriously, I have never felt any panic around it, because it's like, it's just not going to work. Okay. And the Hermit card, finding that path. I really think that this is like, this is not going to happen. Okay. The Hermit card is like finding a righteous path. Okay. And so let me just put some more cards, clarifying cards on that Hermit. Like, if he were to try this, the people rise up. If he tries it, the people rise up. Winning at all costs, he will not be successful. Let's just put it that way. And going back and forth to navigating troubled waters. I'm looking here. Let me just take a second with this too. Okay, so people rise up. He is stopped. And this going back for, I wonder if this isn't like MAGA finally wakes up to this. Oh, that could be it. MAGA finally wakes up and joins with the rest of us and telling him no. Okay. And it's no. So, okay. As far as these emergency powers, yeah, he's going to keep doing it. I mean, he sees it as he can claim powers that, okay. He creates the emergency so he can claim the powers, knowing that it's going to take a while for the courts to stop him. Okay, it takes time. So it's kind of like, I'm going to do this and I can get away with it how many times before I'm told no. It's like, I have 5 cats. Okay. And whenever they're doing something that they're not supposed to do, and I'm trying to even think of Max does this. If they're into something, no, Morgan, my 15-year-old Calico, she does this. If you tell her, because she gets in the kitchen, she's not supposed to be in the kitchen, and it's like everything's her little buffet, and she's like doing something, and if you tell her no, she knows it's going to take a few seconds for you to get over there to actually like move her, and she just eats faster. She's just like, I'm going to eat faster. It's like, Morgan, stop. That's what I'm seeing. I am equating this president to my 15-year-old Calico cat, who so he knows, like, I can do it and get away with it, because it's going to take a while for the courts to catch up to him. That's what he's doing. So yeah, expect that. I mean, that's just going to continue until he's not. I almost feel like I don't know if I could keep doing, because it's like, he's going to keep doing this, okay? So anytime that, he does that, I may just pull this short out saying, we knew he was going to do this. He's going to continue doing this, okay? The other thing about martial law, I think he has every desire in the world to do that. That is like, he wants to be the strong man. He wants to be that. He wants it, okay? That, there's no, I mean, I won't dispute that. He absolutely wants it. Now, will he be successful? That's really where we need to look at and be concerned with. I don't think he'll be successful. And I have never got that it's the court. What's interesting, I never got that the courts are going to be what stops him. It's the people that stop him, okay? Like the uprising. And if you look at, like, was it Hungary? Is that where they've had all of the, I mean, like, hundreds of thousands of protesters? And then South Korea actually did get rid of, they actually did, get, is he in jail now? I mean, so we are not, Americans are not going to be ruled by a tyrant. We're not going to be, it's just not, we won't stand for it. It's not in our DNA. Not saying that he won't try. And if it happens, we're all going to take a deep breath and remember, our American DNA does not allow that. So thank you for joining me. I really do appreciate it. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll put another video up here for you to check out and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next reading. Have a good day.